So let's talk about your professional career. 36 years at AT&T that spanned 3 states.
13,088 days. I'm a numbers person. It's that math book.
I can tell. That's the math book. And 14 different roles.
Yes.
Can you tell us about how you successfully grew from a local supervisor to a senior vice president and then an officer of the company?
Yes, I loved my days at AT&T. I remember when I was recruited in college, and the recruiters came. I ended up with 13 job offers, and I had 2 criteria. I said, now this is at 21 years old, okay? I said, I want the job that pays me the most money, because of course, I was trying to help my mom get out of the projects. I mean, she didn't need any help. She had like 3 and 4 jobs, but I just wanted to do something. And then I wanted a job where I could be a supervisor. And so I ended up accepting AT&T because of their fast track management program. And I actually started out supervising, this is way in the day, so most people don't even know this. I actually started out supervising long distance operators. So literally, we're back in the day when you didn't even press O, you dialed O back in the day. And the people on the other end, the operators, they actually reported to me. I was 21 years old, didn't know a thing really about working. It's the first job I ever had. And between the union and these seasoned operators, they taught me just about everything I know today about leadership. And so I have this leadership philosophy, and I know we'll talk about it probably a little later, really that is centered around people. And so they taught me that if I really listen to the people, learn from the people, and love the people, my 3 L's, that I'd be successful. And so that's what I practiced. I ended up doing very well in that job. It was a big risk. We did all kind of things because I was 21 years old, and they had this list of things that they wanted their new boss to do, and all these policies and practices they wanted changed. They knew I didn't know better, and I didn't. And so I worked with them, and I'd go to my boss, and I'd say, let's take a risk. The operators want to do blah, 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 blah. And my boss would say, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, just try it. Let's just try it. And I worked the night shift because I'm a night person, right? I mean, I know I'm at the breakfast, but I'm really a night person. And so we tried all kind of stuff, and we ended up having some of the best results across the company. And it was because I listened to these people, I learned from them, and I truly, truly just fell in love with them. And so then I was offered my boss's job because our results were so good, and I turned down a promotion. And I actually turned down 4 promotions in my career because at this point, you know, I'm like 22, 23 years old, and I want to learn the business because at this point I realize I'm in a technical business, I have a business background, I started out as an engineering major, so I'm like, I want to go and learn the business. And so I ended up taking a job in our network engineering department, and it was quite insightful. I learned the whole business. I had a boss who told me one time, he asked me, he goes, Cindy, you turned down 1 promotion, okay? What are you gonna do next? And Chris, I was sitting there looking at all my little demand and capacity charts, like I'm into all my stuff. And I looked at him and I said something that was so crazy. So this is for some of our younger people in their career. Okay, so I'll tell you my mistakes. And I said, Mr. McBride, your job, my job is to do my current job and to make sure, that I'm doing all this right. And your job is to think about my career and what my next job is. And he looked at me and he said, that was back when they called me Cindy. You know, I had to stop that.
Yes.
But he said, because I mean, I'm not Cindy. I've never been Cindy, but he was calling me Cindy. But you know, I let them get away with whatever they wanted to, right? So he said, Cindy, follow me, follow me. And so I went to his office and he said, that's not the right answer. You have to take some control over your career. You just can't keep turning down promotions, and you gotta understand the big company. And Mr. McBride had me in his office for 2 hours. And you know, he's an engineering manager, so he's got all these easels and white papers and all that. And by the time I left his office, I knew just about every department. I had a better understanding. I actually had a 5-year career plan when I walked out of his office. Then he took me back to my desk and he goes, okay, so Cindy, I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna be right here with you because I actually think you could be an officer in this company one day. And I didn't even know what he was talking about. An officer, I mean, I'm in an all-male engineering department. Nobody looked like me at the top, so I didn't really even embrace what he was saying. But he said, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna help you. And so he gave me a lot of good advice. And so I try to do that now for our employees because you just don't know what you don't know. But thank goodness he took the time to let me know that I had to take some control.